dark. Shit, I delete the wrong video.
Mommy, mommy.
Mm-hmm.
No, no. What happened was they said she got a food that said goodbye to me.
I accidentally delete the wrong live. Shit. And I don't know how to I don't know if there's a way to
No,
un
you really can't do it.
shoot.
I don't think back.
Marie, hey, I accidentally delete my live a while ago. Shit. So I had a I did a live today, right? And I had like 2,000 views on it today for like an hour. 1 hour video, and I had like 2,000 views on it. So today I just came on the live just now, and I had to end it because the light wasn't set up, and I was trying to delete that. Yes, oh wow, congratulations. You're saying congratulations, and I'm saying to that I accidentally deleted the live because I saw uploading, and I was trying to delete this live that I just did, and it deleted that one. So no, me lose the video, and me never have no recording of it. So it's not saved or anything. I don't think YouTube have it saved like how TikTok have it saved. Yeah, so me delete it. It delete 2,000 views. Hi, Renardo Lifestyle TV. Hi, Young J Mob. Hi, J Mob. So that's gone, which is crazy because I saw uploading. Why would it be saying uploading from today till now and it still has to upload? That not make no sense. YouTube are trying to catch up with TikTok, That's what they're trying to do, and they're not doing good at it. Cause even right now the audio, and you can't hear me good. Me have to connect the mic, cause I'm hearing that the audio over here is not good. So me have to connect a mic. I'm gonna have the wireless mic, a wire I have, and the lighting over here says not as good as over TikTok. Cause over TikTok bright, I can hear but slightly muffled, but clear enough. It's muffled. I don't know. Mic check 1 2 3. I don't know. I don't know why it's muffled. Maybe I'm me muffled. Maybe I some it's my sound muffled. I don't know. And I still have problem with the light here. I don't know how to get the light. Shit. Maybe I need to turn off the light. Cause this actually look better to me without the light. This look better without the light. Cause the light didn't make it look dark. Like, I really don't know what to do. I don't know if my foot. Like, I think this is just too much light in my face. This is too much light in my face. Boy, I tell them I need to get somebody to help me set up this. Come on, I'm gonna take my put this on right. The way this look, this, I not think this set up right at all. absolutely no way the ring light will stay like this. Absolutely. Anyways, guys, so we're there now. Remember to leave a like, guys. As when you join, and then just leave a like. Cool? Cool. I'm gonna like that YouTube live something, yeah. I prefer the TikTok one. It's alright, I'm seeing you. Alright, Renardo. So we are gonna be reading, I'm gonna be reading this book. I've already started reading this. I am at chapter 4. The book is called What Was I Thinking? How to Make Better Decisions So You Can Live and Lead with Confidence. And it's written by David Ashcraft and Rob Skacel. Forward by Dr. Larry Osborne. So that's what we're reading. I got this on the Blogos Hope bookship. This was my only book that I got of interest. All right, so guys, don't forget to leave a like. So Renardo is here, Noteman is here, and I'm okay. Now I'm seeing two because I was just about to say I only see two likes. So, and only can tap the screen. I think there's like a heart, there's like an emoji thing right here as well. You can click on it, you can click hearts, you can click, you can reaction is here with a thumbs up, hearts, whatever. Just keep tapping the screen, guys. I need to make up back to the 2,000 views I just lose a while ago. So I have to just go and tap. Let me see if I can. All right, guys. So give me a second. Let me just join as a. Let me see if I can join as a moderator. Give me a second, guys. So there's two likes here. Not look bad on this. It actually look on my phone dark. On my phone dark then. Cause it not look dark, yes, so. All right, give me a second. Just I have 8 views. When you can see the hearts that go up at the side. When you see the hearts that go up at the side, right? When you can see it. Dark like dancehall, it seems. Jesus. I didn't never say dark like under some people. Alright, so now see the heart I go up. Yeah, someone want to know if you just go and tap the screen. If you don't like the reading, then you can just go and tap the screen and react 100, blah blah blah. Just go and tap the screen, guys. Yeah, so that we can get some yeah man. I know say you're busy note man, so I not expect every day you tap the whole time, but no one again when you get a chance you can tap. Alright, so we're at number of chapter 4, the models, and it says human beings operate in a constant state of decision making. As we mentioned earlier, in any given day, we make thousands upon thousands of decisions. For most of these, we don't waste much energy worrying about what to do or wondering if we made the right decision, but every decision produces some consequence. So this morning, had I, Rob, deviated by choosing to shut my eyes rather than placing my feet on the floor when my alarm sounded, my day would have turned out quite differently than it did. You know, I'll be here to support. Hi, Gerald. Thank you for joining. Don't forget to leave a like. So click a like on the video here, guys. Just click a like, someone knows on the day here. So right now I have 3 likes, someone knows I have three people there here. Even though it says six viewers, but a three me see. So once you come in and you just leave a like, please. Someone knows on the day here. All right, so many of the decisions we make have a near certain outcome. Tying my shoes would almost certainly secure to my foot. Inserting my contact lenses will enable me to see clearly. Wearing a coat will keep me warmer than not wearing one. Anyone who shares my passion for hunting may recognize these near certain outcome decisions as well. Carrying my deer rifle will ensure I see only turkeys. Carrying my shotgun will ensure I see only deer. Not packing rain gear will bring rain. Our model for making good decisions is not so concerned with the types of decision that come with the near certain outcomes. Rather, we're more interested in that subset of decisions involving an element of risk. Decisions that bring meaningful exposure to the chance of injury or loss. And we believe it is possible to break down these decisions involving risk in a way that allows us to make wise and calculated decisions about those risks. My battery is low, so later. All right, sorry, Renardo. It was good to have you though. But thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you for passing through. Hopefully, you can get some charge and you can come back. Hopefully, I'll be here. I was planning to stay till 12, so hopefully, you can circle back. Dawson Childers had a comfortable life. His parents owned a local construction company that was started by Dawson's grandfather in 1973. The two had purchased this rather small operation in the mid 1980s and grew it into a thriving business that provided nicely for the family. Dawson had grown up around the business, washing trucks every Saturday afternoon as a young child and working with the crews in the field each summer as he progressed through high school and college. He never enjoyed the field work, however, so after earning a college degree, he took a position in the company's IT department. Okay. His older sister and brother also worked in the family business in project management and estimating units, respectively. Dawson's parents dreamed of one day transitioning the business to their three children who would own and lead it together, thus building upon the family legacy. His siblings enjoyed their work and thrived in their roles. Dawson performed well, but was unable to muster much enthusiasm about the prospect of spending the next several decades with the company, despite the economic security it would most certainly bring. I hope on a day here now, I hope on me alone there, and I read to myself. But Dawson's family had always been active in their local church and generous in their contributions to both ministries and other charitable organizations. Dawson enjoyed ministry work, and though he had no particular ambitions to lead, would typically find himself placed in charge in nearly every area he volunteered. As he thought back, Dawson realized that this had been the case since his high school participation in youth group, through his role as president of the campus ministry in college, and knowing several service and teaching involvements as an adult. He had even been taped to preach on multiple occasions when the lead pastor was away, after which there would invariably come encouraging, half-joking remarks like, "Pastor Jim better watch his back. You're pretty good. Are you sure you're in the right field? That sermon turned out much better than that new office complex your family just built," and the like. Truth is, after working the last 6 years in the family business and now being married with a second child on the way, Dawson himself began to wonder if he was in the right field. In one sense, he felt pulled towards vocational ministry, but the prospect of leaving the family business, forfeiting his opportunity to gain shared ownership of a valuable enterprise, and retooling for a new career that brings low pay, unusual hours, and a high failure rate all seemed a bit daunting. The safer bet would be to stay put, safer and more predictable, but one that had thus far brought only limited fulfillment. Pursuing a career in ministry seemed potentially and perhaps likely more fulfilling to Dawson, but there were no guarantees. Dawson found himself at a fork in the road. Should he stay with the family business or pursue a career in ministry? Neither choice was morally superior to the other, just different in terms of what he would be placing at risk. All right, so big decision number one. All right, as you might have guessed, Dawson became Pastor Dawson. In this instance, we would argue that Dawson's choice displayed the kind of risk initiative that characterize the breakaway. Leaders that inclination to step forward in faith, which tends to produce extraordinary impact. He chose to place potential over comfort. Turn preacher, yeah. We are not suggesting it is inherently better to choose careers in ministry over careers in business. For some people, the step of faith, the choice with potential for extraordinary impact, might lead them from vocational ministry to the marketplace. In fact, one of us, David, left an early career in business for ministry, and the other, Rob, left a mid career position in ministry for one in the marketplace. So they kind of switched. So Dawson spent the next 4 years accruing the skills, knowledge, and experience he would need to prepare himself to pastor a small church. An offer came from Bigler Community Church, hereafter referred to as BCC, since every good church needs a memorable acronym. Located in an located in a rural setting about 600 miles away from family, Dawson and his wife Beth, along with now 3 young children, had never lived far from their hometown, but off they went. If there was a single decision Dawson had been sure of, it was marrying Beth. Beth constantly voiced support for Dawson's career and felt every bit as called to ministry as he had. But Dawson knew that she also felt isolated and that it would take time to build new friendships. Beth was sacrificing a lot for him, and the new pastor's wife already sensed the pressure of watchful eyes to be the exemplary spouse, mother, and ministry partner. BCC was a new church of about 125 people, with 3 different elders sharing the pastoring duties until Dawson came on board as its first full-time pastor. In time, the church grew significantly under Dawson's leadership. To be sure, there were setbacks along the way, but with a few battle scars and the passage of another 4 years, BCC was approaching 350 in weekly attendance with 3 paid staff. Dawson was working harder than ever, but took great satisfaction in seeing God grow the church and extend its reach. It was common for him to burn the candle on both ends, scheduling breakfast meetings with key volunteers and community influencers, yet also feeling a need to be visible at all church activities, many of which occurred in the evenings. As a result, he often left home before Beth and the children were up, and sometimes was kept away after the kids were asleep. He tried to take off each Tuesday, but pastoral emergencies sometimes disrupted that plan, and Saturdays were occasionally consumed by weddings and more sermon prep. He commonly consumed he commonly worked more than 60 hours a week and continued to press ahead despite the obvious strain. It was both tiring and exhilarating, and Dawson was grateful to be at the center of what seemed so obvious a work of God. Get you a bet, gents. One bet, never two. You try make sure say I bet your wife name, but one bet, never two. Cause make sure come over here, come here, but one bet, never two. Alright, big decision number two. So, to hear Dawson describe the situation, he never really thought of it as a conscious decision. He characterized it more as a drifting of sorts. Lindsay Whitcomb, who was about Dawson's age, volunteered 2 days each week at the church office, providing administrative support to the pastors, scheduling volunteers, and handling a variety of special projects. As a general rule, the church did not permit 2 persons of opposite sex to work in the office unless there was at least one other person present. Why the office situation is sound so familiar? Who did I tell me about office again? Somebody that tell me about some office situation, The office somewhere sound kinda kinda familiar. And they matter about pastor. So even at the pastor and the church them still have office situations. Hmm. Da da dee. I'm gonna read it over again to make sure so I know me I misread the church, the word of God. So as a general rule, the church did not permit 2 persons of opposite sex to work in the office unless there was at least one other person present. Hmm. Okay, I wonder why. There was good chemistry between the pastors and Lindsay, who proved herself smart, capable, and energetic. Wait, me have to read that one a little slow. Sorry, guys. Me have to read it slow. Cause me have to make sure I understand. Me don't want to misunderstand. You know, there was good chemistry between the pastors and Lindsay. So who named Lindsay now? The wife named Beth. So who are Lindsay? Who proved herself smart, capable, and energetic. Everyone liked having her around, as she had a knack for lifting the mood in any room she entered. Oh, she have a knack to lift the room. Okay, lift the mood in the room. Oh, the admin. Oh, okay. Dawson said of this drifting, I found myself looking forward to seeing Lindsay come into the office each day. Boy, Pastor, where is the pastor? What pastor say? My God, my God, pastor. Pastor say, I found myself, this coming like a romance me I read, I know. All on the guys, it start get interesting, you know. We have to take a look at time. I'm cut my 10. I found myself looking forward to seeing Lindsay come into the office each day. She had a great smile, laughed at my jokes, and was always helpful. It was all innocent. But one birthday night and one birthday day somewhere. But I have to admit that it felt good to have someone paying that kind of attention to me. Pastor, don't do it, Pastor. Pastor, don't do it, Pastor. Lindsay can get it, obviously. Lindsay secured the fact. Boy, my God. Tap up the screen there for me, church. Tap up the screen. Tap up the screen there for me, church. Can I get an amen? Amen. My God. Merciful. All in the church. The temptation is strong in the church, you know. You can hear me clearly. Lindsay said the offering pan. I get excited. What you say? What you say? Lindsay said the offering pan. I get excited. Let's continue, church. Oh God. Whew. Merciful. This wake me up more than the power. Church money long and short. Like church money long and short. Like ensure. You full of lyrics to do. Wait there. Woo, that one ya wake me up more than the little power with me I drink. Yeah man, the sleep gone you know. Woo, me have to take my little time. I don't want it done it. Wait. Lindsay, my God, Lindsay. All right then. Jesus, Pastor struggle so much, and then Lindsay just come, just. I was no longer. Hold on, let me read over about that part here. But I have to admit that it felt good to have someone paying that kind of attention to me. To me. And with Beth so wrapped up in the kids' activities, I was no longer getting much of that from her. It's not that things were bad between Beth and me. We were both just too busy and tired all the time to really be there for each other. It didn't really hit me until last Thursday. The others had gone home. This is why I'm gonna read romance book. This is why I don't read romance book. Oh, they might dash the romance for me, so I never asked for this, you know. I come over here for read a little motivational book and then over here so I show mix up for me pastor and the admin lady. Eh? Pastor and the admin lady. Jesus, merciful Father. Wish me to have somebody finish read this for me. The one I get eaten. Jesus Christ. The one I get little eaten. Alright, Mama hold it. Mama hold it and see if I can read it. Mama hold it. Take a deep breath. It didn't really hit me until last Thursday. The others had gone home, so it was just Lindsay and me left at the office. I was working on my sermon and wanted her opinion on how I was planning to phrase something. So I called her in to look at my computer screen. She leaned a little close. I felt the tips of her hair brush my neck. I felt the tips of her hair brush my neck, and I noticed how nice she smelled. And then she reached over me to type a correction on the keyboard. I felt myself flush with a weird mix of excitement and fear, like a 16-year old on his first date, mustering the courage to put his arm around his date in the movie theater. I think I said something awkwardly flirty, and then she shot back with a similar remark. I knew I was about to cross a line, but then I thought of Beth. The shame and embarrassment hit me like a ton of bricks. I must have turned beet red. I could tell Lindsay felt it too. She apologized for making me uncomfortable. I lied and said it was no big deal. I thanked her for helping me with my sermon, and then she left. And that was it. Lie, Pastor. Pastor, you lie. Pastor, Pastor, you lie. Pastor, you lie. You lie. You alone in the office with Lindsay, and fear ear touch your neck, and you get excitement, and all you do was say something flirty, and she said sorry and walk out. Pastor, tell that story to bed, but don't come tell me that, Pastor. Lie, line. Is it motivation for cheating? Isn't this a motivational book? Is it motivation for wait, the hold on. Let me go back up. Come here for Mr. Party is like she got that Bath and Body Works combo going on. Pastor lie. Pastor say he never do nothing. Pastor Wickedy? Who really believes a pastor never do nothing? Who really thinks the pastor really and truly just say to her says okay and she just apologize and walk out and a pastor and Lindsay alone in her office by himself? By themselves? Pastor is untruth. Untruth, pastor, you're untruth. But don't worry yourself. I believe in him. Here you know you believe in a him. You believe in a pastor, say pastor really never do nothing. I thought to myself, how could I even go there? I'm not that kind of person. Yet there I was. Again, I thought of Beth and the kids, and I suddenly realized just how close I'd come to throwing away what I thought was a good marriage. Losing my job, destroying my credibility I had in challenging others to follow Christ, and essentially obliterating my life's work. And that's to say, nothing of Lindsay's husband and family. What was I thinking? Also, Lindsay married her husband too. So Lindsay husband the home and pastor wife the home and the two of them in the office by themselves at work. Okay. All right. Best got that grip. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Dawson is a fiction Dawson is a fictional character, but you know Dawson Childers. He's like you. He's like me. He's like someone you work with. Over our years of experience interacting with the leaders in business and ministry settings, we have seen stories very similar to Dawson's play out many times. That's not a fictional nothing. You know, say Dawson are the next man, are the David man. Dawson is the David man. Don't come tell me about Dawson a fictional. David they do it. Oh, it's so wicked. How old is Lindsay? Anyways, back to the story, cause them tell we say fictional, then just carry round the block and carry come left right, so right at the same spot. Similar to Dawson's play out many times. Dawson's account is the only fictional one you'll find in this book. So Dawson's account is the only fictional one you'll find in this book. The other stories we put forth are constructed from actual situations that we have encountered or become aware of in the course of our work. You see all them lion wicked? Everything else in the book really no. But the one time when Pastor almost cheat on him wife are fictional. The one time pastor almost cheat on him wife, it's fictional. But every other story them real. Just because him no want lose him marriage. But him put in the book, so he must know what him a do. But we not go while him. We just gonna continue hear what him gonna say. So we have typically disguised or altered key elements of each story so as to prevent identification of the persons involved. So what might Dawson's story tell us about the way people choose to risk or not risk? But what does a friend of me ears? Really? In my ears? For life? My God. Jeez. Anyways, back to the story. Watch out. Call the fan mash up. Carry the next fan, come give me. Please. Lend me the next fan. Cause that one I mash up. Although I did broke from morning. I the broke one this me I use. I know say I hear one this, but me I say it. Alright, it's alright. Maybe use it. I'm going to use it. I don't want something. I just go just not use not this stuff. It I use that work for me. I'm gonna get the electric one. Alright, back to the book guys. Sorry for the intermission. All right. So what might Dawson's story tell us about the way people choose to risk or not risk? Dawson was making thousands of decisions each day, but for the sake of learning to make good decisions and to take wise risk, we've pulled out two of his biggest decisions. We have so far argued that individuals who live hello? Say uncle for me. Individuals who live life to its fullest are neither reckless nor, nor timid, that God has given each of us a sphere of influence in which to make good decisions and a positive difference. We have encountered we have encouraged you to venture beyond what may be comfortable and to take healthy risk, yet cautioned against recklessness. A life well lived and pleasing to God is one characterized by both faith, which by its nature requires risk, and wise restraint. If you are too risk averse, you may be settling for a whole home existence. What is a whole home? HOHUM. I don't like this book anymore. I miss the drama. Yeah, cause right now, me think that some pastor did go on with things and pastor tell me say all fictional. So him get me excited for nothing. Come like when Lindsay ear touch him neck and him get excited, that was me, and then just say, oh sorry for nothing. So I don't even know what is whole home experience, risk averse and whole home experience, producing a degree of impact that falls short of what it might have been, as we asked earlier. Remember for go and tap his screen if you can. 33 minutes a day. Isn't that a key lesson of the parable of the three servants? Matthew 25:14 to 30. And yet, if you risk recklessly, as Dawson nearly did, then you may gravely tarnish or even destroy your reputation and mollify your life's work. When Christians do that, the damage is compounded. As we are told in 2 Corinthians 5:20, we should see ourselves as ambassadors of Christ, as representatives of Jesus to the world around us. In that sense, our reckless behavior can blemish the reputation of Christ. We become a source of repulsion from Christ rather than a source of attraction to Him. Therefore, we have developed a model that aims to help us make better decisions, that help us to make better and calculated decisions so we can live with confidence. We believe that for any decision where risk is involved, we will invariably encounter pro- four propositions to risk. These four propositions invite us either to enter the risk before us or to back away from that risk. How we progress through the four propositions will ultimately determine whether we choose to initiate or avoid the risk at hand. What is important to understand is that these four propositions of risk come at us whether we want them or not. They simply present themselves automatically and cannot be avoided. Thus, in order to make good decisions and take wise risks, we must be aware of them and consciously deal with them. These four propositions are: what would you like, what is available, can you make it happen, and what might result. So, what would you like, what is available, can you make it happen, and what might result. All right, these four propositions routinely figure into any choice we face to initiate or avoid risk. They may be dealt with reflexively or reflectively or anything in between, but the four propositions invariably bear upon our final choice and should be taken into account when considering taking a risk. The dynamic interplay of these four propositions will determine whether we choose to take a chance in any given set of circumstances. We briefly introduce our model here and will flesh it out in detail in the chapters that follow. I don't even understand for them verbiage. Flesh it out? What does flesh it out mean? I don't even understand what that means. Flesh it out? For them verbiage, me a lot of chat foolishness. Verbiage kind of twist up my tongue a little bit. What would you like? The first proposition is about desire. Desire encompasses our wants and cravings. What do I want in this situation? What do I want out of life? At its best, desire fuels healthy ambition and focus it. When we have fun, that's what it means. Flesh it out. Or expound further. Oh, here, and we'll flesh it out in detail in the chapters that follow. Oh, expound. When we have fun, I'll explain something. When we have fun, the fun of going at the mic, does it affect the mic? Does it sound like, because me no want to have fun and when you sit down and ear beer breeze a blow. Does it affect you when I do that? Because me I wonder if it a blow in at the mic. Another unusual way to say I'll explain something. Yeah, but doesn't disturb it much. No man, if it a disturb it, me no want to do it. You say not disturb it much. Barely noticeable. Okay. May I just go and take the bun and done. The light from my face, the light on my face kind of hot. It right as a hot. So I have to I can't turn on the fan because the fan are gonna blow. But I know where you live, so you need it. Oh, you know where I live. No why you're dead from the heat. Oh, you know which one I live. You're gonna do your research and find out where I live. Are you figure out where I live? Remember you know where I live. You're gonna do some research. That kind of sound. I like how that sound. But anyways, oh yeah, we did that talk about place, location, and that time they would that talk about that and the history and Uber. Oh yeah, you say Banya. Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, tell me say Banya. Your neighbor string cut yeah, but you run your left it. Okay, yeah, true. All right, back to this. Me have to check. Me have to check, cause you know, so me have people I look, so me have to make sure. All right, so what do I want in this situation? What do I want out of life? At its best, the desires fuel healthy ambition and focus. It produces goal-getters and high achievers. Desires can lead to exceptional performance in school, sports, or work and can motivate us towards financial security, generosity, good parenting, and spiritual maturity. But even the most virtuous among us are susceptible to sinful desires. So true. Very true. Yeah, man, sin can take over sometimes. True. If we're not careful. This dark side of desire leaves us lacking contentment for what God has given us and prone to chasing the wrong thing. So true. Happen to no man all the time. All the time it happened to him. Regular, 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 regular. Yes, what is available? The second proposition presents opportunity. Opportunity is about the circumstances that create potential to advance our desires or the array of options available for doing so. For example, a financial blessing that comes in the form of an unexpected tax refund enables a caring parent to avoid the tutoring she so desired for her struggling child. Even constraints like imprisonment, financial loss, or failed marriage are part of the opposite opportunity proposition. Of course, not all opportunity leads to good. A moment of freedom from the eyes of a watchful parent avoids opportunity for a child to chase a ball into a busy street. So why them say opportunity? Why they call it opportunity? It's an opportunity for him to run into the street, but why them say opportunity? Okay. Long hours spent alone with an attractive co-worker can lead to marital infidelity, as we saw in Dawson and Lindsay's case. You hear that note, man? You hear that? Long hours spent alone with an attractive co-worker can lead to marital infidelity. Not just co-workers, but visitors. Yes, leads to infidelity. Mhm. As we saw in Dawson and Lindsay's case, available credits can bring problematic spending and crushing debt. Opportunity follows desire, for we can only take advantage of conditions to advance an objective or generate options for doing so, insofar as we know what the objective might be. All right, I kind of lose it a little bit. Come here, get the sleep kind of come back here now. The sleep kind of come back here now. No more drama, no juicy drama, no appearing in the book. Can you make it happen? The third proposition concerns power. Power is a person's capacity to make a difference, to affect the world in some measurable way. Most people underestimate their power. Many of us with limited financial resources or relatively low ranking positions at work may actually possess a great deal of power in the home, power that derives from our physical size or strength. How that power is used as a parent, for example, can be the difference between a home characterized by security or abuse. We will describe how virtuous behavior naturally increases one's power and how virtuous use of power can bring about tremendous good. Sleep or touch the eyeballs for you. I'll send you one of my books to read tomorrow if you're going to read. I'll send you one of my books to read tomorrow if you're going to read. It have drama in it, like with Lindsay and Pastor in it. Like them little nice drama they in it. Cause me say something really read romance now, but stuff it can grab me. Stuff it can hold on for me by the throat and come so hey, like them drama them like it's still like that. Okay, then I must. All right, then send it then, but you have to send it early. So when me get up, me can read it. But I send it not the little late on in the day, you know, when other things are gonna grab me. But yeah, send it early. But anyways, all right, back to this. Grab your throat and brace upon. Surprise! Oh, YouTube never blocked that one day. How that power is used, but there's a catch. Power is always seductive and can lead to impaired empathy, self-centeredness, self self-centeredness, focus, self-centeredness, impulsivity, and a host of other counterproductive tendencies. What starts our healthy influence What starts as healthy influence can easily lapse into unhealthy control or even abuse. What might result? The fourth proposition involves expectation. The anticipated possible outcomes should we choose to act. What do I expect in this situation? What do I expect out of life? If we expect an action to produce a desirable result, then we are likely to proceed. And if we expect an unpleasant result, we are likely to halt. Action oriented people tend to be realistic optimists. They generally expect their efforts to succeed, after which they can envision and encounter the next hill and the one after that. Because they are accustomed to success, they expect to continue, but this can lead them to underestimate the likelihood of a bad outcome to any behavior they may be contemplating. When we think we're immune to getting caught, causing pain, or experiencing loss, we tend to behave foolishly, to do things that end careers, traumatize others, and destroy legacies. Well, think of that me I do right now. At this point, I think that's exactly what I'm doing right now. Me I drop asleep. Feel like me I gonna jump back over TikTok soon. Hold on, give me a second. Intermission. Jeez, and the place hot. I can't believe that today. You know, me realize as well, me never turn on the ads. So that could have been one of the reasons why the video did even have push out so much. Me never turn on the ads on it. So there was no ads on it. So all those views me get, me I get now. No ads on it. So that was like a waste. Me can't believe say the video no me can't believe say the video delete. Me I forgot look and see if me can find but the video. TikTok must about TikTok, YouTube must have a way to save the video. Cause TikTok records them, TikTok keep them in its records, you know. And you decide if you want to delete it or not. Oh, yeah man, see sleeper coming in. Sleeper coming in now. Alright, I'll come back over here so no on my page. That's the one person viewing. I just one person alone over here, so alright, back to Uno now. That's the one person alone there. Alright, so the diagram below encapsulates our model. Risk, initiative equal desire, opportunity, power, expectation. Oh, that's a little something. It's a little, so see the diagram here. So these are the risk, and then these are the four stuff. Nothing fancy. We would like to think our simple model is pretty dope, as cool and hip as we like to think we are. We had to look up the term dope on dictionary.com to make sure we're using it correctly here. The 13th listed meaning of the word described it as a slang term meaning great or excellent. The sample sentence was, his band is so dope. Yep, that's what we were aiming for. We hope you agree. But whether you end up seeing it as a dope or dopey, you may find the acronym DOPE a useful device to help you remember the four psychological considerations that determine risk, initiative, desire, opportunity, power, and expectation. But that's bad. That's bad. Dope. So they thought that this was dope, which is great or excellent. But they also use the dope term to, desire opportunity. I'm gonna write down that. that is dope for real. That's dope. That is dope. 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 So it's desire. Let me see if I remember it. Desire, opportunity, then power, and I think is expectation. Let me see. Let me see if I get 100. Did I get 100? Desire, opportunity, back, 100. Remember that? Well, that's great. Great for me, because I remember nothing. Anyways, hereafter we will refer to our model as the DOPE model or risk initiative or just the DOPE model. In some situations, the proposition come so quickly or subtly that the decision itself can seem almost reflexive or automatic to its market. For example, if you were sitting by a riverbank and hold on, guys, my throat has scratched me. I feel like me I forgot to pause now. I feel like me I forgot to pause. Oh God. Oof. Let me I forgot to pause. I know. That says zero. No man, you're gone. That says zero viewers. For example, if you were sitting by a riverbank and suddenly saw a child fall into the water and start screaming as she got swept up in the current, you might jump in right away to save her. In fact, when we see such incidents on the evening news and reporter asks the rescuer, "What were you thinking when you decided to put your own life at risk by jumping in to save that little girl?" The response is often something like, "I didn't really have time to think at all. I just jumped in." Okay, Kaita says zero viewers. Some potential rescuers might instead look for a rope or stick to toss to the child. Others might run along the riverbank shouting instructions to the child, and still others' first impulse might be to attempt to find and alert the child's parents. The decision of the rescuer may or may not produce a successful outcome for the child. In other words, the risk is real, and each option carries its own degree of risk, perhaps even death to the rescuers themselves. So, with our hypothetical hero on the local news, the four propositions may have unfolded as follows. Risk assessment: I do, rotted, may I read it backwards? Risk assessment: do I risk saving this child from drowning? What would you like to save the child from harm? That's a desire. What is available? It's me or no one. Opportunity. Can you make it happen? Yes, I can swim. That's the power. What might result? She might die if I don't do something right away. That's expectation. In this instance, a proposition appeared and were acted upon rapidly, perhaps even subconsciously. But our hero had to, at some level, face each of the four propositions before taking action. We simply cannot initiate risk in the absence of a driving force, a desire. Some assessment of our circumstances and options available, opportunity, or capability to exploit those options, power, and the potential result of our actions, expectations. So one can easily imagine how a difficult bystander under the same circumstances might confront or process the four proposition directly, leading to an equally rapid but very different decision and different course of action. For instance, risk management. Do I risk saving the child from drowning? What would you like to save the child from harm? What is available? I could jump in, yell for help, or find some way to intercept her drowning, her downstream. Opportunity. Can you make it happen? I'm a terrible swimmer, but I can yell and run. What might result? If I jump in, we'll probably both drown. If I run downstream as I yell for help, a better solution may appear. So what you that do, Craig? No man, what would you do? What would you do? So this is you, the child dropping in the water. What would you do? Me personally, me can't swim. So for me, I would, yes, I want to save the child from harm. What is available? Me I call somebody for help her. That's how me I call. Cause me not jump in there. Me can't swim. Um, what is the power now? Power is what can you make it happen? I'm a terrible swimmer, but I can yell and run. Yeah, me can yell and run too. So me can call somebody, me can say, "Hey, the little girl jumping in the water, come help her. We give us in a rope. Try find a stick. Try find something. Push over this so. Fling over this so. I can swim, so save the child. Oh, you can swim, so you're jumping go save her. Oh, good for you. Good for you. Good for you. All right. Well, that wraps it up. All right, for risk assessment that take more time to develop or unfold, such as decisions to risk a career change, a financial investment, or an extramarital affair, any or all of the four propositions are likely to be handled and experienced in a more conscious or deliberate manner. Jack of many trades. Mm-hmm. Ah, boy. I won't, you know what? I won't even comment on that many trades of yours. I won't even comment on that many trades of yours. You know? Let me not comment on it. For a risk assessment that take more time to develop or unfold, such as decisions to risk a career. Oh, read it already. Anyways, now let's take a brief look at how the four propositions to risk may have played into Dawson's two big decisions. Dawson's risk assessment: should I risk changing careers? What would you like? More fulfillment in my daily work. That's a desire. What is available? Stay with the family business, pursue a career in ministry, or explore other careers. Can you make it happen? Well, no one is stopping me from pursuing ministry, and yes, I can get the education and experience I would need and get probably find a way to afford it. Realistically, all three options are viable. What might result? If I stay in the family business, I will do well financially, but spend the next 40 years doing something I dislike. If I pursue a career in ministry, I will spend the next 40 years doing something that will likely bring meaning and enjoyment, but it won't pay very well. It is also possible I would do poorly in either career. God will likely be pleased with any choice I make, insofar as I honor his desires as revealed in the Bible. In this situation, Dawson could take whatever amount of time he deemed necessary to consider carefully each of the four propositions and deliberately calculate whether to risk a career change. Not so in Dawson's second big decision. Alright, I'm gonna take a break after this because I get tired now. The same four invitations were to play, yet the speed very rapid. What? Not so in Dawson's second big decision. The same four invitations were at play, yet the speed very rapid and the degree of reflection involved very little were quite different. Dawson's risk assessment: do I take the risk to seduce or not seduce? What would you like? Sexual gratification, intimacy. What is available? I am alone with an attractive woman who seems interested in me. Opportunity: can you make it happen? Yes, I can make a move right now. What might result? Sexual gratification, pleasure. No one will know but the two of us. It will be our secret. Wait, come like the juicy part I start again. Hold on there, guys. Like the juicy part I start again. I juice this look like the juice part. I read it over. What might result? Sexual gratification, pleasure. No one will know but the two of us. It will be our secret. Oh, wait. Making a move right now might also result in rejection, which would be horribly awkward and embarrassing. Or worse yet, we might go through with it and the secret would get out. Or might go through with it and be crippled by guilt. That would hurt my wife and kids and family and could destroy my marriage and career. In this second situation, Dawson may have allowed his desires for gratification and intimacy with Lindsay to develop over a period of time, perhaps as a matter of fleeting thoughts or fantasies. But once the opportunity arose, here's what's available. The remaining decisions were encountered rapidly with very little reflection. In this particular instance, Dawson maintained the presence of mind to consider multiple outcomes. What might result, which enabled him to opt against completing the act he was contemplating. Boy, I kind of miss it a couple times. I hope I don't miss it. Alright, I'm finish. One page leave in a chapter 4, so I can close off chapter 4. Unfortunately, human nature usually leaves us so narrowly focused on the arrival of the fourth proposition that we seldom consider expected outcomes that might effectively I read foolishness. Expected outcomes that might effectively counter the forces of our potentially destructive desires. Whether those desires tilt us towards safety or risk, human beings are prone to justifying our aims and neglecting information that might steer us away from the path we are already leaning towards. There is much more we could say about this scenario. We have focused on Dawson only, with no consideration of the situation from Lindsay's perspective. We have said nothing about the power dynamic between a boss and his subordinate, nor about some of the counterproductive habits Dawson had developed in the years and months leading up to the incident, but have opted to present it in a simple form for the purpose of illustrating the model in action. You and I face decisions of similar magnitude on a regular basis. Therefore, in the chapters that follow, we examine the DOPE model and its four propositions more deeply, offering practical considerations for effectively managing each one. We hope this model will help you make decisions and initiate risk in a godly manner that reflects an active approach and is rooted in both faith and prudence. Mastering the dope model can't guarantee the correct decision in every situation, but it will allow you to advance with a more calculated decision about the risk you are facing. All right, guys. So 1 hour, we made it to an hour. All right. So it took actually an hour to read chapter 4, which not, I don't know if it good or bad, but perfect timing, I would say, because I was gonna do 1 hour video. So that's chapter 4. So let me just recap now what I just read. So again, I'm reading What Was I Thinking? This is how to make better decisions so you can live and lead with confidence, and it's written by David Ashcraft and Rob Skacel, right? And I've just read To Our Wives, Ruth and Marita. Okay, and I've just read chapter 4. So we have so the content, we have part 1, chapter 1, What Was I Thinking? Chapter 2, The Boy Who Jumped. Chapter 3, The Danger of Playing It Safe. Chapter 4, The Model. Right? Chapter 5 is going to be the proposition 1, what would you like? Proposition 2, what is available? Can you make it happen? What might result? That is 3 and 4, right? So that's the other thing. We're going to get into the 4 dope um dope statuses, right? And then chapter 9, the golden buzzer, when leaders fall. I was thinking about a little white tank top. That when they look like it's gonna be interesting. Chapter 11, sorry guys, chapter 11, I was thinking about a little white tank top. That one they sound like it might be interesting. Putting the dope model to the test, the need to escape, and designed to sail, and then notes 197. So if you're interested, guys, you can leave a like, leave a comment, let me know if you're interested to um, hear more about the other chapters to come. Leave your feedback and let me know. Or if you want to hear me read something else, you can suggest other books in the comment section. All right, guys. No man, are you still here? Let me know if you're still here. Um, leave a comment or something so I can know say you were here or still here. Hoping I drop asleep on me. But you're saying jack of all trades, jack of many trades, minute you're nothing else after that. Oh, like him gone. No man is still there, like you fall asleep on me, Jano. That's a two-person there. Who there? I hope the two-person them were there. Leave the like. Leave a like on the video already. Jano, it's all like come like no man drop asleep on me. No man, Jaja. But that's a note man and number 2. So that means that somebody else is here. Or Renardo, 75 XP. And Gerald. Oh, so Renard are the top fan today. Alright, look like him fall asleep. Note man, are you still here? That's a 4-person watching. Alright guys, I'm gonna end. That's it for today's video. I'll see you next time. Don't forget to leave a like on the video. So click on the like button here, guys. Or leave a comment. Let me know your feedback. Hope you get to watch it to the end. Alright, later guys. Thank you. I'm at 8 now. Thank you guys.